Today we're going to talk about the difference between being a company driver and going into the IC field. If you're interested in this subject, stick around. Hey everyone, I'm seeing a bunch of videos, and this is a video that's been done by many people, so everything in life has been done by someone, so let's do this one here. Everyone's talking about becoming an owner-operator or a lease operator if you're a company driver. If you're a company driver and you're happy and you're making decent money, I say in the $1,000 a week range, there's no real reason for you to become an owner-operator unless you just aspire to it. I know many people that have spent their whole life as company drivers and are retiring now with good incomes and good investment strategies and stuff. And the whole owner-operator thing is more of a you don't conform if you're an owner-operator. You're not, or even a lot of lease drivers, you're not into conformity. You're more into doing what you want to do and telling everyone to get fucked, more or less. But if you're making good money, there's no reason to. Now, when you become a lease operator or an owner-operator, and they are different things, then it opens up a world to you that's with many more opportunities. But with those opportunities comes a lot of responsibility, a whole lot of responsibilities when it comes to keeping track of your money in a critical way and knowing what everything costs you. You have, if you're not, I listened to a guy the other day and he was talking about his fuel mileage, and he was saying, he gets about maybe 7.5 or 7.3 or 7.8. He had no clue what he was getting for fuel mileage. And you have to know that. I mean, every time I run my fuel mileage every single time. I want to know if something's going wrong with my truck and I'm using fuel at a strange rate, because I'm going to know something's going wrong and I need to get in the shop. You have to look at different insurance companies and how you're gonna competitively search for better insurance. And if you're going to put drivers on, you have to know about if you're going to be paying them a percentage of their load and not take any unemployment insurance, because unemployment insurance is a huge hit that most people don't realize. I mean, it's just really big, and workman's comp and everything else. So if you're content, there's no reason you can't work as a company driver. Don't ever feel like you're less because of the fact. I personally couldn't be a company driver. When I got out of the military, I just bought a truck, and I've been trucking ever since. I wouldn't know how to be a company driver. I make decisions, and companies don't like people that make decisions. Sorry, I'm going up a mountain. And so if you're a decision maker, you would be better off purchasing a truck or leasing a truck. Now, when you lease a truck, a lot of people think that you're a glorified company driver, and in a way you are. But once you prove yourself, they should just stay out of your way. Now, if you want to become an owner-operator, I'll touch on it. But an owner-operator, there's different categories in that too. Because if you're going to just be an owner-operator and lease onto a company, preferably one that doesn't have company trucks, well, that company may not have any company trucks, but your dispatcher might have 15 trucks. So that's something you got to think about also, because who's going to get preferential treatment in a situation like that? There's a whole bunch of stuff to know. And then if you want to get your own authority, back in the day when I first got my authority, I could just walk in anywhere with my insurance paperwork and I could get a load. It was just that simple. I'd deliver a load in LA. I would haul my own freight to LA, and then I would just, wherever I delivered it, I'd walk in with my paperwork and I'd be like, hey, you got anything going back east? And I'd get a load. And if they didn't have one, I'd drive next door to the company over there. Somebody'd have me a load, and I would find the rate and I'd set it up. Nowadays, nothing works that way. Everything is just a nightmare. And if you get your own authority, then you have to deal with the DOT in a whole different way. I never had to go through an audit, and I would not ever want to go through an audit. That's why I stopped using my authority. The insurance, people act like that's a big deal. Insurance requirements are no big deal. The money that the insurance costs is not a big deal, not at all. I mean, you're putting out $1,500, $2,000 a month or whatever. That's not a big deal. Not in the scheme of things. The hard part is that we're always mad at the shipper, but it's the trucking companies, our brothers, that cut our throats. I'll give you an example. One summer I got some loads that last me all summer, and I was making like, it was crazy. I was netting like $5,000 a week, running 40 miles back and forth. And another trucking company found out what I was doing, and they came in and cut my throat, and they started running the loads for $100 a pop. And it just, I just had to walk away instead of going, oh, well, I'll lower my rates. Now it hurt my feelings. But all I'm trying to say here is, if you have big aspirations, go for it. There's nothing like jumping in and just doing it. When I was training, I would tell people, you could do it. I could meet somebody, truck with them for a week or whatever, and I could see if this person had what it took to be a lease operator or an owner operator. It's just a matter of the person. Some people will never, they might want to talk the dream, but walking the walk is a whole different story. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I will answer them. I know stuff. And be sure and subscribe. That's the little smiley face that pops up over here. And I'll probably touch more in depth on this subject at a later date. There's plenty to talk about at it. Thanks so much. Another Rat Rod Pete.